Now, this is the Draft Labs ADAM Tournament Series, our first match of our first set on the day. This is the 5th week of the first season here in the tournament series. First thing you're going to notice is the radar chart in the center of your screen. This is our Style Stats Team Composition Strength Calculator. This is a radar chart that will produce 2 shapes, one for each squad, red for red, blue for blue, and those shapes will help us compare the strengths of each squad based on these 6 criteria surrounding. Now, our rosters for this game will be all mid, all modes with their standard squad here. What is a Wolf, Eric L, Rare Candy, and Gross Pigeon. And the God Squad bringing in a ringer today. We have Andrew the God, Dusa, Et Omnia Vanitas. This guy, I told you guys yesterday, man, this guy is just up for grabs with any team that is looking for him right now. I don't know if he's up for grabs right now, but every team is looking for him is really what I'm trying to say. And then we also have Eddie the God finishing up the picks for them. 6 bands in thus far. Ezreal, Galio, and Lux taken away by What is a Wolf, Brand, Varus, and Kog'Maw taken away by Andrew the God. Brand is an odd one. I think Varus and Kog'Maw are 2 really good bands, but Brand is an odd one for me, man. It's quite odd. I don't think I've ever really seen AMAM play Brand ever, actually. So that one doesn't seem like it's the most researched ban here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, we have What is a Wolf locking in Xerath as the first pick. This was a very contested pick, the highly contested pick that is available now. There's another champion that becomes available through that, and that one's going to be locked in by Andrew the God. Well played, well played. Ziggs getting logged in by Andrew the God, and Dusa taking his Zed. I like the Ziggs-Zed combo. There's a lot of early game power there, but you also have some good late game, I don't want to say late game scaling, but you also have some good late game traits that are really, really good as you get into the later phases of the match. You know, if you're able to take this game long, which is something that Ziggs really excels at. So I really like the 2 first picks here from the God Squad. Not only do they balance their damage types well, so they're not necessarily just completely shutting themselves down right off the bat to an Aegis and forcing themselves into 2 AD picks of the last 2, but they're also bringing in good early game stats, but also great execution. I think Zed is a champion that works very well against a team like Team AMAM. If you can get a Zed kind of rolling and get him into that capacity to kind of jump onto the backliners and just execute them, Team AMAM tend to take 4 out of 4 backliners, so very squishy targets available there for the Zed. He said, I accidentally clicked it, I didn't know it was banning. Oh, the Brand. Well, that kind of sucks. I was like, wait a minute, Brand, that's kind of a weird ban. Well, sorry about that, dude. Oh, well, it leaves open more picks for you guys. Now we have Jinx taken by Eric L. Very standard pick for him. And Jace coming out from Rare Candy. I mean, both squads looking strong so far. But with these 2 picks from AMAM, these guys are really building into something that they really like. And you can see right now with the charts so far, first 3 picks from AMAM, first 2 picks from God Squad logged in. Very, very similar compositions having been built. Ooh, and check this out. Vel'Koz for Et Omnia Vanitas. Oops. I switched out Jace on accident. There we go. Vel'Koz for Et Omnia Vanitas, and Lissandra for Eddie the God. This is a really cool composition we have. They have enough aggressive stats. They have enough offensive stats right now, the God Squad that is, to actually be able to kind of outplay and counterplay Team AMAM's playstyle. I really like what they're building. Gross Pigeon, I would not be surprised if he just went ahead and locked in this Morgana. This has been one of his staple picks here as well. He considers Morgana to be a champion that is kind of an engager. He considers to be more of an offensive champion than defensive, because you enable your allies to be able to engage on binds with your Black Shield. So a lot of things can come from any Black Shield that lands from Gross Pigeon. That is in fact the case. He does lock in that Morgana. And that's going to go ahead and finalize our Style Stats Team Composition Strength Calculator. And both teams, in fact, very similar right now. You can see right off the bat that there aren't very many advantages going in either team's favor, but Team AMAM have taken the Siege advantage, which is something that they really like. And they've gone with this double AD composition, whereas the God Squad went for a triple AP composition. And that is something that triple AP is usually the standard here for the meta, considering how strong poke is. But what I can tell you is that double AD works fairly well against Team AMAM, because they do tend to rush into that Aegis of the Legion, and when they do that, that can really shut down a lot of the damage that a triple AP composition can bring. So I would expect that the God Squad need to outplay Team AMAM early in order to get themselves a nice little advantage and make sure that Team AMAM don't just steamroll them from right as soon as the game starts. And that all begins with the first 30 seconds of the match. You get into the game loads up, you buy your items as fast as your fingers will possibly let you click on them, and then you get to that bush as quickly as possible, because Team AMAM, they will be there about as fast as About that fast. They'll be there about as fast as anyone you'll ever see will ever get to the bushes, and you better be there waiting to contest that early game advantage with them, because that's really one of the best ways to counter AMAM. We haven't seen a single game, not a single game so far with Team AMAM in it, where they did not take the early bush control. They were not at that bush faster, and they were not getting themselves an early advantage just strictly by being in that position. So that's the very first thing you want to target out when playing Team AMAM, is getting to that bush as fast as you possibly can. Buying your items, we're talking like hyper speed buying items, just 4 clicks, boom, like bam, 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 you're done, and then you click on the bushes and you're walking there. You got to get there really fast, and you got to contest that early game advantage with AMAM. Even start a fight at level 3. I mean, the level 3s right now are fairly even. I actually kind of like them. I like them for Team AMAM because Morgana's going to hit some nice binds, so we can expect that Gross Pigeon's definitely going to have some power there. But if there is a missed bind from Morgana in the early game, then a lot of power is going to kind of shift over in the favor of the God Squad here, for that level 3 at least, that level 3 skirmish. So that's really what I'm looking for off the bat, and I hope that's what you guys are looking for as well. Now, both teams opting to take kind of a bottom left side heavy chart, poke, siege, and wave clear as their 3 most prominent traits. These are good traits to take. I mean, this is very standard for Team AMAM. The God Squad, they've really developed themselves into a team that picks much better than they did before. Back a couple of weeks ago when they were playing with us in this format, they would pick champions that worked for them against the teams they were playing, but now that they're moving up in the up in the team rankings, and they're going against some of the more skilled teams that we have, some of the more experienced teams that we have here in the Draft Labs tournament series, they're actually really fixing up their pick and ban phase to bring it more in line with the meta. But they still have, like the Zed, like the Lissandra, they still have those picks that they like to take that can really show their individual skills as players, because all 4 of these guys for the God Squad are in fact very skilled players individually, all platinum or higher level Summoner's Rift players in rank. So very impressive stuff from them, and we can expect this game to be a brawl fest. As long as Team AMAM can keep themselves safe, they should be able to win. As long as the God Squad can get into the face of Team AMAM and get some kills and disrupt Team AMAM's early advantage, then they should be able to snag themselves a nice little lead here as well. Right before we transition over into our load screen, check out the comp scores, you guys. 521 from Team AMAM and a 496 from the God Squad. 2 very good competition scores. Team AMAM coming out slightly on top of that one. They did pick more higher ranked champions based on our champion tier list, which you can also find at our website at stylelabs.com, or simply down underneath the stream in our panels as well. I believe it's one of the last ones, so you might have to scroll down for a couple of times, but either way. Next thing we're going to look at is our skin game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what who's taking the best skin today. We have Firecracker Jinx, Victorious Morgana. Come on. Gross Pigeon only takes that Victorious Morgana. Same goes for Eric L. I mean, all he takes is that Firecracker Jinx, so nothing too incredibly impressive there. Arclight Vel'Koz, Shockblade Zed, and Snowday Ziggs. We see a lot of Shockblade Zeds, we see a lot of Snowday Ziggs coming out, but Arclight Vel'Koz, I actually haven't seen that one in quite some time, so I'm going to have to give, considering the fact that it's been quite a while since I've actually seen the Arclight Vel'Koz, I am going to have to say, give my skin MVP over to Andrew the God. Congratulations, Andrew the God. You take my skin MVP for this. What's up, Le Spooky Gingy, a.k.a. OHN Gingy. Welcome, 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 my man. I hope you are enjoying your stay here in our stream so far. I believe your team has the chance to play today, so OHN Gingy, you better get in touch with Y Did and some of the other guys that he's building up, because he wanted Spook Squad to play in our second set today. So go ahead and get in contact with him, and we can definitely make that happen if that's what you wish. Now a bit of a longer load than would be hoped for. I hate Arclight Vel'Koz W. It's so hard to see. Yeah, Arclight Vel'Koz, it brings in some kind of crazy particle effects, but it's a cool skin nonetheless. I can't play. Oh, that's unfortunate, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I know that Y Did is trying to put a squad together, so maybe they'll come in and play underneath the Spook Squad name, get you guys a couple of extra points for your team stats. Rip. Yeah, rip, dude. Just, you know, get that stuff back together, and then we're looking forward to having you back in here when the time comes. Like I said, you guys, a bit of a longer load than we would expect. Everybody's at 100%. Not sure why the game is not starting. Maybe we had some disconnect or some sort of error here, but we are still just staring at these skins. Once again, Vel'Koz took my skin MVP. And I'm really, really looking forward to this matchup, you guys. I think that this squad that we have from the God Squad is something that isn't necessarily similar to what Team AMAM bring. No teams have ever really brought in something similar to what Team AMAM have. They definitely have their few set champions that they believe are going to be the best on this map, and in this format. You know, Jinx being one of them, Morgana being one of them, Xerath, obviously, he's just up there in terms of, like, just, not necessarily God tier, but him and Ziggs are, like, way up there. They're, you know, they can win games really early or they can take games really late. It's all up to, they're good offensive and defensive champions. Their wave clear is just phenomenal and is extremely important to these to this meta. But as of right now, I really like both these squads. I love the way that the God Squad kind of implemented a couple of engagers here, implemented a couple of gap closers, implemented a couple of aggressive champions into their composition, specifically so that they can kind of jump on the squishies that are inevitably going to be picked by Team AMAM. So I'm really excited to see this. We do have a exhaust coming out from Gross Pigeon. That's going to be very important against the Zed, but with a Lissandra following up the Zed shortly afterwards, I think that exhaust might end up getting burned and might not save Gross Pigeon or his allies too many times here. I'm very excited. What's up, Pockets? What's up, Exile Senpai? Dude. Now we have loaded onto the Howling Abyss, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Draft Labs ADAM Tournament Series. AMAM on blue, the God Squad on red. AMAM, as I mentioned, they're getting that bush control at Omnia. He bought his items pretty quick, man. Everybody bought their items pretty quick. I want to see this little skirmish. Ooh, that's an unfortunate bind on Eddie the God. Look at that. Like I said, one bind, and there's going to be a big difference. That bind did not, in fact, miss. It hit. And that's what they got from getting there first. Now, Andrew the God, he's trying to, oh my goodness. He was trying to skirmish one before, but that did not end up working out well for him. You can see all the damage he took. Both Eddie the God and Andrew the God both just getting absolutely chunked down. That's going to lose the God Squad this little early game advantage. And now with AMAM moving so far forward and having, oh, first blood. That's such an unfortunate first blood. But a little bit of bad pathing from Andrew the God, though. I mean, that's wasn't the best idea for him to move in front of that tower. I mean, safety was the name of the game at that point after already having been chunked down, being forced out of his potions. It's not going to give an incredibly large amount up to Team AMAM just by losing the first blood, because he will be able to get back here. But it does give them a little bit of extra gold, and you don't want to do that. And it does solidify their early game advantage even farther. Something that you do not want to do. And now, Team AMAM simply turning up the heat. This is what these guys do. They get that early bush control, they win that very first trade, and they take the game from there. So, as of right now, considering what we've seen from Team AMAM, even just this much has won them the game. Even just this much. Every single other time we've seen them, at this point, only a minute and a half in, they've already won the game. You can see Dusa already getting forced out of his cleanse. I mean, they're just kind of taking everything they can. No flash is being forced away from Team AMAM quite yet. There needs to be safer play from the God Squad because they're putting themselves into tough positions. Rare Candy, he's getting jumped on. There was an Ignite there as well, but Eddie the God flashing forward to try to take the kill. Doesn't end up getting it. The exhaust does end up saving Rare Candy out. Well played. Now the God Squad giving up another kill to Team AMAM, make that 3. Rare Candy picks up a killing spree, has picked up all 3 of these initial kills here. AMAM solidifying themselves a nice early game lead, and there's so much pressure from them right now. There really is nothing that many people can do. Eddie the God, he tried to go in on it, but now he's just getting harassed away. The level 6 game is really where the true power was going to come in from the God Squad. I didn't mention that earlier, but the level 6 game from them is strong. The level 6 game is strong with this one, but they weren't quite able to. They might not even be able to get to that point. You can see Team AMAM already taking so much. Enter the God left extremely low. What does the Wolf capitalizes? Nice little slow coming in from What is the Wolf? He capitalizes with his own Q as well. That's the 4th kill of the game now, going in favor of Team AMAM, and now's the time for them to siege. We're talking 3 or 4 waves in. Eddie the God, he's going aggressive just to clear out the wave, but is it worth his life? I don't think so. That opened up the opportunity for Rare Candy to bust down at Omnia. At Omnia now, the only one on the God Squad who actually has not gone down. And Ziggs is so crucial. Ziggs is so incredibly crucial to this composition. There's an easy hit for Eric L. at Omnia, making a slight mistake. Dusa forced into a body block here, and Team AMAM going in for even more siege. The double AD composition that Team AMAM have built here, they love that. They love that because they can push it quick, they can poke fast, and they can siege fast as well. It's a very fast winning composition. If you give them such a big early game lead like this, already a 1.5k gold lead in Team AMAM's favor, just with 5 kills and a lot of CS advantage. Very unfortunate that the God Squad haven't really been able to take any more from this early game than they have already. Nice ulti there from Eric L. There was no ulti available for at Omnia. Matter of fact, he was kept down to level 4. Level 6s for Team AMAM, and only level 4s right now for the God Squad. So incredibly unfortunate. This is where Team AMAM really turn up the heat, and they just throw down all of their ultimates that they can. With the level 4s, with only level 4s coming out from the God Squad, AMAM can bust out all of their ultimates right off the bat, and then they'll most likely come back up shortly after the God Squad get their level 6s. So they can actually get 2 ultimates for the price of, 2 ultimates in trade for just 1 coming out from the God Squad. Extremely important, man, and these guys really know how to push these advantages and make them W's. Wave clear is the new name of the game here for the God Squad. They really need to get these waves cleared out as quickly as possible, ensure that Team AMAM can't run in and hit this tower. Every time a minion wave is pushed into the enemy tower, into this red tower here, you can see Team AMAM move up, they get aggressive, and then whoever tries to move forward to defend and wave clear ends up getting punished out. But there's plenty of range. There's plenty of ranged wave clear coming out from the God Squad right now. They could definitely play safe. Keep their health bars at least healthy, or they could have played safe rather. They're already been taken down enough to say that that kind of phase is over. But in the early game, they could have played safe. Look at this. This might be a kill for Gross Pigeon. There is one going in favor of the Jace, though. Gross Pigeon doesn't pick up the kill on Lysandra, but Jace does snag the Zed. That's Rare Candy. Now Ed Omnia getting taken low. Almost taken out. Flash forward from Wolf. He picks up another kill. My goodness, Team AMAM are really turning up the heat here, you guys. No deaths now from Team AMAM quite yet, and Gross Pigeon, he's looking for another kill for himself. Make that another kill for What Is a Wolf? The tower drops. Gross Pigeon doesn't even die in that double tower dive. Now Gross Pigeon's ultied by Dusa. He gets exhausted, but still snags the kill. Now he's forced to swap his way out of there. He does make it out safely, but not without the damage going in his way. Yes, you could say that's kind of a trade there. He actually didn't deal as much damage as he took, so it's an unfavorable trade, but he did get a kill as well. Team AMAM only 6 minutes in, already having pushed up to the second tower. Gross Pigeon looking for the execute, doesn't find it. Gives up some gold to the Zed. I think that gold's negligible at this point. It isn't really going to bring anything back. Such a huge lead thus far for Team AMAM. The first death for the Jinx as well is going to be a very important one. And look at Team AMAM's items, you guys. 4 out of 4 tiers. Oh, nice kill there. Nice shot from What Is a Wolf. Picks up the double kill. 4 tiers. 4 to 4 tiers. This is Team AMAM's strategy, you guys. They go for just an incredibly spam-heavy early game to taking down an early tower, and then just casting as many spells as they possibly can. By having those tiers, they get themselves into a really smooth transition from early game to mid game. By already having as much mana as they would need to just continue spamming. So they have a really, really smooth and easy transition from early to mid game. Usually they already have a lead. Oh, here's another fight. Rare Candy ultied by 2. He does end up getting dropped. Eddie the God tried to flash away from the Jinx ultimate. Ended up flashing a little bit too late and ended up being a 1-for-0 trade in favor of the God Squad. We are seeing a little bit of a shift in momentum here. Swap forward from Dusa. Does he have the ultimate available to him? He does not. It's coming up in a couple of seconds. I'm not sure what he's really going to be able to take from this, you guys. Tough to say. Andrew the God, he's locked down. Ed Omnia is taking some damage as well. That might be a kill for What Is a Wolf? Ed Omnia dodging. What's going to happen, you guys? Ed Omnia is left low. He does get the kill. What Is a Wolf? Doing a good job to snag that one for himself. He bought some boots on his back. Now Eric L. ulti by Dusa. He picks up the kill. Dusa going down, though, but a great little snare from the Lysandra. Did lock down 2, but still no follow-up. And Team AMAM just really pushing the issue here. Able to keep a nice hefty lead for themselves. 15-4 now in the kills and a 3k gold lead for Team AMAM. Andrew the God really burnt down by Rare Candy. And like I said, you guys, look at the identical builds from Rare Candy and Eric L. This is the double AD composition. They have the tiers still. They didn't upgrade them. They'll upgrade them later after the next death. But as of right now, they just went for some straight damage and cooldown reduction. Very, very spam-oriented. And as they transition into the mid-game, they're going to have all the damage and all the mana regen and all the mana that they need in order to make a nice, nice push to end the game. That is if we even make it to the mid-game, you guys. Mid-game starts at 10 minutes, by the way. There's another ulti from What Is a Wolf. Rare Candy still picks up the kill. His damage is incredibly high. You can see Eric L. He's playing a little bit more safe as well. He's making sure that he keeps tabs on the back, like, he keeps himself into the back sides of the team so that he doesn't get jumped on by Lissandra and Zed. If Eric L ends up getting executed here before a siege starts, then this team's going to be losing a lot of their siege potential. Now you can see the siege into the second tower has begun here for Team AMAM. The ultimate from Ziggs a little bit late. Didn't end up clearing out very many waves or saving the tower. Here's Dusa again. Will he ult somebody? Doesn't look like he's going to. Eddie the God trying to follow up. Nice ulti there from Eric L to pick up that kill. Now an even heavier lead for Team AMAM. These guys are just unstoppable at the moment. Rare Candy, huge damage with his Qs. And the siege on this inhibitor should be successful. From right now, what AMAM want to do is get kills consistently. They want to get kills and keep death timer stuttered. Now we are going to see a 4v4 coming out here soon, but if another person can fall here before the next fight starts, it might be huge. There's an ultimate on the Rare Candy. Make that two. He gets dropped. Now Dusa is in a tough position. He got bound and stunned. But Andrew the God picking up a kill on Azerath in the backlines. Now it's a 2 versus 4. No members of the God Squad falling quite yet. If they can chase this one out, they should be able to make big things happen. But Eddie the God got snared. That was a great snare. Eddie the God was really the engage in the lockdown here remaining for the God Squad. Beautiful snare there from Gross Bitch and very calculated. And that is exactly what allowed Team AMAM to disengage there in that specific situation. 1 Jace Q equals 1/2 of Zed's HP. I know, dude. I know, it's crazy. It's because he had so many kills early on. He had so much money. Eddie the God now taken down as well. Jace did get dropped and he went back. Look, he went for even more damage. Hasn't even upgraded the tier yet because he's not looking for a scaling build anymore. His team already has an extremely large lead. Uh-oh, could this be some sort of double kill here? It is double kill for Xerath, and Zed follows up for one of his own. 3 kills now for Team AMAM, and this could be the final push. They get themselves a nice quick ace. Quick comeback ace. They're going to be pushing with 1 super minion. That should be all they need. With a double AD composition, Jinx and Jace, they should be able to push down at least one of these towers. It's not like Lissandra can handle that super minion. Maybe little minion she could have been able to clear out there, but that's not the case from here. Look at now Lissandra left low. So much little tiny spells, so many skill shots flying in that Lissandra's face, unable to back off, unable to get the safety, ends up getting dropped. Huge damage from Jace. Oh my goodness. That's massive. First Nexus Tower has fallen. Now Deuce is taking damage. The tiniest little bit of crowd control. Every single person on Team AMAM is in position to capitalize. Rare Candy simply moving forward to zone out, and this looks like it is in fact going to be game in favor of Team AMAM. An 11-minute and 30-second victory for these guys is going to be pretty big for them. There's another Ignite on the Gross Pigeon. Eddie the God trying to make big things happen. Wasn't quite able to. Maybe another kill for what is a wolf, and an ultimate from Andrew the God. Not quite enough damage, and bam, GG. There we go. Congratulations to Team AMAM. They take the first game of this set in very, very cool fashion. These guys, this is exactly how they play. You know, this is one of the best examples of how they play I've seen in quite some time. Other than some of the matches that they've won in, you know, we're talking under 5 minutes or under 6 minutes. They get themselves the double AD comp, the fast push comp. They get, and this is the nobody really has ever isolated this and has ever really tried to counterplay this against Team AMAM. The number one best thing that they do, the number one most solidifying factor to their victory, was their early bush control. They bought their items faster than the enemy team. They got to the bush first, thus guaranteeing them, not guaranteeing, but thus increasing the chances of an early Morgana bind. That one Morgana bind resulted in Lissandra being chunked down, and then whoever was trying to follow up with Lissandra before she got bind ended up getting chunked down because then they were overextended. It's such an easy thing to counteract, but we have never seen, not even to this day, a team come out and try to counter Team AMAM in the first minute and 30 seconds of the game. And it's so important, the first 30 seconds of the game, as a matter of fact, that it's so important that you buy your items as soon as you possibly can, get out of those gates as soon as possible, and meet Team AMAM in the center for a skirmish. Because if you can take one of them out, then you might be able to completely negate their whole advantage to their play. You know, that's my advice to you guys, the God Squad. I hope that you will take it with stride. Congratulations to Team AMAM. They take number 1.